Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back. It's time for another season of your favorite podcast with your favorite best friend duo in your ears. Once again, we know you missed us. Season 7, episode 1 of Truth Carpet with Love Loud. Okay, it is I, your girl, Simoné Loud. And once again, per usual, I am with my bestie.
Yaskis, also known as Yanique Love. I'm over here smiling because you have on your Love Loud
I
necklace.
sure do. Couldn't come into the season without showing this lovely jewelry that you got for me, darling. It was such a beautiful surprise.
Yes, I'm
What
glad
was
that you liked it. It's over there.
She wasn't thinking. She wasn't.
No, well, I wasn't thinking. Of course, I was thinking to put a necklace on, which I always say before we record. Oh my God, I need to get a necklace. But it's because I got my nails done. I can't put on necklaces or any jewelry. So I'm bare. Nothing here. I'm bare. But yours looks good, girl.
Yes, it does. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. Love Lot official. Idiot. So, yes, y'all, I'm sure you've been wondering where we've been, how we've been doing, what's been going on. Y'all ain't seen us, y'all ain't heard from us. So it's just like, what has Love Loud been up to? Because what we can tell you is that, it's another season. And it might not be what you're used to. The format might feel a little different. The conversations may feel a little different, but hey, we are still here. We're giving you the vibes, and we are excited that we are officially in season 7. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Come on, talk about consistency. So we gotta tell the people, because they wanna know. They're intrigued. What's been going on, baby? Just a little quick tidbit. What's happening? How are
I've
you?
been I've been tired. That's what's been going on. Hibernation. I wish I was sleeping and hibernating like a grizzly bear, but honestly, it's just life. Like there comes a season. I don't want to sound like typical, but seasonal depression, things feeling dark, feeling exhausted and tired. That's just where things have been going, and having other things to deal with and do. And I feel like as far as hefty calendars, I feel like Moni's calendar is heftier than mine. But everybody deals with things differently, and for me, it wasn't like a I need this. I just looked forward to when I'm not working, when I'm not doing chores, when I'm not doing family, when I'm not like when I'm not. I want to rest, and I appreciate that my podcasting partner felt the same way too. When she's not a step coach, when she's not a student, when she's not a teacher, when she's not this, she is going to binge a show until she falls asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's pretty much where I have been. And then two, just trying to figure out what I want for myself in life. Like I told Moni, I don't know if I want to continue podcasting, or I don't know if I want to continue with this career, or I don't know if I even want to be a girlfriend. I don't even know if I want to be me. Like I'm just in a place, in a space where I'm like, what do I want? What does my future look like? What do I need to be doing right now? Is it this? Is it that? I just need to take a pause. That pause was able to give me space to reflect and say, okay, I do want this, but maybe make it look a little different. Or I do want to continue being a therapist, but I want it to look a little different. Or I do want to continue being a girlfriend or a best friend or a sister or all these things, but I need to see this come out this way so that I could feel satisfied and happy in those things that I have or those relationships that I have with people or things.
Yes, absolutely. Come on now. Yes. Come on, growth, maturity, loving on me. Amen. So for me, yes, I'm still teaching full time. Yes, I'm still in school full time. Yes, I still teach after school. But I have come to find that I have a new appreciation for what it understands to rest and not feeling guilty for it.
Yes, that part.
I have maintained with staying committed to my Friday evenings, and my Saturdays are mine. It's not for work, it's not for school. It's about making sure that I have time for me. So whether that's me sleeping in until 10 a.m. or whether that's me, like Yaya said, binge watching my shows until it's watching me. You know what I'm saying? Like just making sure that I am giving myself the time that I need to nurture myself, to give myself the opportunity to feel what I feel, to feel the tired, to feel the overwhelm, and then like release it. Because my calendar do be stacked up back to back doing the things, but I also am appreciative of the fact that I am just finding ways to balance it out. I've learned how to say no, absolutely not.
You've been saying absolutely not.
Turning down invitations. Actually, I cannot make it. I actually am committed to actually finishing this assignment. I need to be responsible as much as I would want to go to that comedy show or go out and spend time. Like my calendar is strict. And if you want to, you want to see me, it's either that Friday or that Saturday. And there are some days where I feel like, I can mix it up. I can shift it if I know however much time in advance, I could definitely plan for it. Absolutely. But for the most part, I've just learned to like focus on what I got going, because my first year of school went by real quick, and year 2 is be right around the corner, and I'll be walking across the stage. Come on, doctor. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I am making a sacrifice that is going to be worth it, very much worth it in the end. And I'm excited for where it's going to take me. I'm really, really, truly excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
I'm excited too for you.
Yeah. So speaking of being excited, and speaking of our growth, aside from us growing and doing the things that we do and feeling how we feel, when we grow, the show grows. As we transition, Truth Carpet transitions.
Mm-hmm.
So as I was saying before, the way that the flow of the show is going to go, we still gonna entertain you, we still gonna talk, we still gonna have conversations, but the flow is just going to feel a little different. We want to call them mini episodes, but at the same time, it's like, since we love to talk so much, it may not be that many, but the way that things are ordered and how it's going to play out, how we bring in our guests, it's going to feel a little different. Before I give them a little tidbit on how I'm gonna run this down today, you got anything else you want to say?
I do, but then that's going to be like 30 minutes. So just go ahead.
So the format for our episodes are going to be, well, you may not always get, a little sweet 223 with the poetry every episode. You may not always get an icebreaker. But for this episode here, this is what we have for you. So, of course, yay, you got a little check-in with us, let you know how we doing, how we been. We're going to head into our icebreaker, where we're going to have a theme of discovering our younger self energy, the then versus the now lessons we have learned. Then we're going to go into the cap segment. We still gonna keep it hot. We still got the topics. We're going to be discussing, if we were in a room with our younger self, how would that conversation be? Would our younger self be proud to know the version of ourselves today? And then we're going to close it out with just a short little outro. Y'all see how that felt? Just boom, 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 pow, and done. You know what I'm saying? We're trying something different because, as we said, as our lives are starting to transform into this different space and how our calendars are compiled with different things, we still want to do the podcast, but we also know that we have to fit it into our schedules. And this is how we're going to give it to you right now. So, without further ado, let's head on over into the icebreaker. Pew, pew.
Okay, y'all. So this is our icebreaker segment, and we're just going to keep it light. Or will it be light? We don't know. So just basically like checking in questions with each other to see how we feel. So right now, I want to know, Moni, what's one thing or a moment that you've grown from? So I've grown because
I think before I speak. I take a moment before I react. I am more emotionally intelligent. The younger me didn't care. She would say what was on her mind to whomever needed to hear it and go on about her day. But I think now, as I've gone through life, I've come to understand the importance of being able to, one, understand how what I'm saying affects other people, and then also understanding how I can have more control over how I feel, and I could have more control of the situation, even though someone may say or do something I do not like. The way that I react to it, it ain't got to be row. I ain't got to. I don't have to take that situation and make it bigger than what it already is. I've learned to take a step back. I've learned how to control my emotions, and I've learned um how to speak, take the higher road.
okay, Grace. I I feel like I'm the opposite of you. All my life, I've been called, well, not all my life, my childhood, I've been called sensitive to emotional, all these things. And the tone of when it's said to me is as if it's a negative thing to be those, to be tapped into your emotional side, to cry, to do all these things. So I've been feeling good about myself, communicating how I feel. And that doesn't mean I have to make someone else feel like crap when I'm saying how I feel. In my childhood, I've learned to mute myself and not say how I feel. But as an adult, I'm finally at a stage where I um, can communicate and use it in an effective way. A hard part of having relationships and connections with others is communication and listening. So I feel like because I've gotten stronger with communicating in a positive way and expressing how I feel, as well as listening to other people and dissecting it, that's helped me to grow and to become a better person.
Yes, come on, grow and become a better person.
Yes. So let's do a little then and now. What's something your younger self thought you'd had all figured out by now? So at this big age, at this big back age,
Excuse me, I'm a little offended. You know, I'm back down and taken care of. I'm talking about my big back.
it was funny in my head. At this big age, what's something that little Moni or whatever you called yourself when you were younger, you thought you would have figured out by now?
I just knew I would have had, I would have been married. I would have had maybe a child or two. I would have been, making some good money. I never anticipated a struggle. I guess when you are young, you are designing this dream life in your head. It doesn't come with the the turmoil and the downfalls and the obstacles and the quote unquote failures and having to start all over again. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
account for all of those things or having to go into another direction and figure out what I want to do again. Is this what I want to do? I just knew that the trajectory of my life, I would have just had things made by now. My dream car, I would have had my house. Like life is supposed to be sweet.
Yes. So we thought.
Beautiful. Mind you, at this point in my life, I don't even know where I want to have a house. Even if I even want to still have a house. I don't know. Now I'm at a point where I'm figuring that out. Like where am I going to settle? Where am I going to land? But what is the next 10 years going to even look like? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think like my younger self used to. At this point, I'm taking it a year at a time, so to speak.
You don't know, and that's okay, baby.
Exactly.
Something that my younger self thought I'd have figured out by now is life. Just basically everything that you just said. The thought in my head is being in middle school, we used to create these fake birth certificates, fake marriage certificates, fake like everything and drawer houses and all this stuff. And I imagine myself having a nice house, like the same kind of Victorian colonial looking house that I grew up in, like 7 bedroom house with my 2, 3 kids and my husband and cars and a nice stable job. I didn't know what job it was gonna be, but that's what I thought I would have figured out by now. At least being a married woman with children and working and not complaining and just being happy every day. Like no struggle at all. That's what I thought. I
Mm.
thought life was sweet.
About the same thing.
Same thing, girl.
I'm saying
What's
something
something?
you can
Oh,
plan.
sorry.
Okay, I was
But
just some things you just can't plan for.
yeah, totally. And then some things you see, I know for sure, like the depictions of on TV, like even Franklin. Hey, it's Franklin. Like from Franklin to That's So Raven to the Huxtables to Mark. Like everybody had families,
Families.
and I didn't think that I would be at this age single, like living alone, no children, things like that. Right now I'm content. I'm happy. But I just my younger self would have been like, girl, what you doing? If she looked at me.
What happened to us?
Yeah, right. Where's the ring? Where's the bling bling? Okay. What's something you swore you never do, but do all the time now?
Something I swore I would never do. I'm wondering, like, is it something that I swore I would never do?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me sit on it for a second.
Just a broad thing is act like my mom. Like, it's just some things that she does, and it's the nitpickiest things that she can do, and it's like I'm doing it as I'm aging. I'm starting to do the things that I didn't like that my mom did. Like, I was about to say his name. My boyfriend will be here, he'll go in the cabinet to get something and then just walk away. Like, bro, you couldn't close the cabinet, leaving the lights on. Like, you're not in the bathroom, why is the light on? I just, like, that's just a small example, but there's so many things that my mom does or did that I'm like, I would never do that when I'm getting older. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, I'm finding, I see my mom in me. So it's not that it's a ugly thing. It's just funny. Like when I catch myself doing things that I used to like roll my eyes at that my mom used to do. But I understand, mom. I get it now. I get it now. Close the cabinet. Turn the lights off, please. Clean up.
You know what? I can't say that it was something that I swore I'd never do, but I never imagined myself doing it.
Okay.
I understand why my mom did it now as an adult woman. Is I used to watch my mom color and I'm like, "Mom, you're an adult. Like, why are you why are you sitting here coloring?" But as an adult, I love it. It's
Yeah.
peaceful. It's very meditative. It helps me quiet my mind. And even aside from that, like just coming home to silence, or like when my mom used to drive home and instead of like listening to the music we wanted to listen to, we used to listen to like the slow jam music, like, or no music at all. Like, dang, this Friday's boring. But like sometimes you just need peace of mind, you need the quiet, and I appreciate the quiet. Lo-fi is my top genre right now. Lo-fi music, oh my gosh. Lo-fi music and jazz, you can't tell me nothing, okay? Like, to come in the house, light a candle, sit on the couch, glass of wine, and vibe out. Never imagined that that would be me, but I do it all the time. The peace that comes with it, mm, mama understand.
Mama, understand.
Mama understand. You just need a moment to yourself
Mm-hmm.
to
For
do
sure.
nothing. The peace that comes with it. Yes.
So good. What would your younger self think is cool about your life today?
Considering my younger self and who I am today. I think that my younger self would think it's cool that I'm teaching film. The fact that me and my dad used to sit back and watch TV shows and then break them down into pieces, discuss it, or the fact that I used to sit and watch Law and Order and Lifetime movies with my mom. Like I was really, really, really into TV, but I never saw myself merely having a career close to being anything that was film or teaching. And when I was a kid, I used to be one of those kids that was like, all right, I'm the teacher. Y'all are students. I was giving my sisters homework to do. Like it was fun at the time. But then I'm also realizing like, wow, like just looking at the trajectory of my life and the things that I used to do and where I ended up, and I was like, it all makes sense now. I think that my younger self would think it's cool that I'm actually teaching film. It was something that I had an interest in and wasn't something that I had access to at the time, which is why I decided to create a film program to begin with. It was something that wasn't available and I wanted to fill a gap that I knew kids would appreciate, especially learning a skill that they may not learn otherwise unless they learned it on their own or until they got to maybe high school or college. So I think little Moni Mo would think that that's pretty cool.
This is not an easy question to answer because I think that my younger self would think there's so many cool elements about my life. The way I live, I think the younger me would think that's so cool. Like your apartment is so nice and where I work, like, oh, what like the things that I do for work. I think my younger self, she wouldn't understand it, and I don't think anybody understands it because I can't tell everything. But um, I think younger self would think that's cool, and the fact of the places that I've traveled, I think that my younger self would be thinking that's cool. And the reason why I say those things is because like I want to say family, I want to say all those things, but I had that. That was always. something that my younger self had, the connection with family. But especially the travel. I remember being my younger self, and the first trip that I took out of the country was to New Zealand. And I remember my other classmates who went on that trip saying, when I get older, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. And silently in my mind, I was saying, well, that New Zealand trip was nice. And I was saying that because I didn't think I could afford to go out the country and pay like all the money that they did, especially when other people in my life were like, "She going to New Zealand?" Like they were like what? Like her school is paying for her to go to New Zealand. Can I go as a chaperone? So hearing stuff like that is like, oh, that's out of the range of what I can have because the people in my life don't have that. I've never seen anyone in my life travel anywhere, and if they did, it was like to the Caribbean islands. So I think my younger self would think that, like I said, where I live, what I do for work, and especially the travel is like dope as hell. Like, yo, you were able to do that. You're so awesome, man. That's what I think.
That's so cute. That's so awesome,
Thank
man.
you. All right. Yeah, I think that's it for our icebreaker. So if you have any responses, you can feel free to drop them under any of our videos under this YouTube platform. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, if they let you do wherever you're at, drop a comment and let us know your response to these then and now questions.
Absolutely. But if we were really sitting across from her, our younger selves, I think that the conversation will look a little different. So let's talk about it and head on over into.
Topics.
Ooh, that was real smooth. Like, I
It
like
was more
that.
mature this time.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, so now we're in our hot topic segment. And if this is your first season, first episode, basically, Moni and I are in the cafeteria in college, and we're having a hot topic. We're talking about something, which is our adult selves. So at this big age, sitting in a room with our younger self. So, Moni, when you hear younger self, when you're thinking about the little girl, little Mo, who's in front of you, how old are you at the moment?
Younger me, honestly, I'm thinking high school me is the first one that comes to mind. I'm thinking at least 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
The actress, the writer, the poet, the dancer, trying to figure out which college she wants to go to. Um, that is the the Simone that I have in mind, the Simone who just joined a program that shifted the trajectory of her life and sent her backpacking in the woods. Yeah, that's the 16-year-old me. I think that's where my life really took a shift. That's who I would be. That's who I would be speaking to.
I think you should keep going and then I should go. So what's the first thing you notice about her?
That's a good question. Ooh, first thing I noticed about younger me, I think I would notice, I guess the aura about me. Around that time I was very ambitious but also very unsure of myself, and I think around that time I just needed the consistency in the guidance of what I wanted to do, and having a foundation of it's okay to do what I want to do in order to get to where I need to be. Because also around that time, my great grandmother passed away. There's a lot going on around that time. Jeez, I just remember that. Around that time, my great grandmother had also passed away too, and that was like my first major introduction to like losing someone in my life in death and grief. So yes, I'm kind, yes, I'm sweet, but I can also see within my eyes, like there's some sadness there. There's growth happening in real time that I didn't realize that I was going through, but as an adult, I can see it from the other side.
Nice. Are you hugging her or observing her first?
Definitely observing. I've always been an observer from a child,
Mm,
even as an adult. I think the first thing I would do is I'm looking. We're looking back and forth at each other, like um, astounded, surprised, astonished, just most definitely observing, looking, feeling before I even reach out for a hug. It's
mhm.
eye contact.
Yeah. Little Yaya. Little Mooka Bean, little, I wasn't Yaski's at that time. I envisioned the middle school me. So I would say age 11, between 11 and 12, one of those ages. And why I see that moment is because that's when, knowing me, like I feel like other people didn't see this or observe it, but I know myself that I was unsure about myself. And that's when like the timidness, or is that a word? Me being timid, uh, started to like play with different things that's going on in my life. Prior to middle school, I was a cheerleader, always engaged in cheerleading, loved activities, doing things like that. And then it was in middle school when I started comparing myself to other people. I'm not skinny enough to be a cheerleader. I'm not this enough. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have the Furla and the Louis and like all those different things. Even though we went to a school where we wore uniform, it was still something to point out. I don't have a North Face. I don't have a booty pack. I don't have whatever. And then I would just always compare myself. And then even things that I wasn't paying attention to, people pointing out that I did not have. Or if you did have something, it was always created to be like she thinks she better, like you know how kids can turn the script the narrative basically. So I will go to her. That's who I see. And the first thing that I notice about her is that she's so cute. She's the cutest little thing, and people want to be her friend. She has friends, but she still is just unsure of what she fits in, where she fits in, and what she has and what's okay. She always prioritized other people. So as far as like, I'm also thinking about at that age, she wanted to play tennis and she wanted to like just be engaged with all these different things, but there was always a barrier. There was always something in the way as far as like tennis. Um, Hearing mom talk about the expenses, mom never said no to it, but just hearing mom is like, well, I don't want to do it. And the why was just because, opposed to, well, I don't want you to have to pay. And then having that conversation with mom saying, you don't worry about it. Like, I'm sure my mom would have said, don't worry about it because she was working on getting the money. Like, my mom will always, she might not pay a bill to make sure that me and my brother had something. So that wasn't something that I had to worry about. And then also, yeah, that's what I would notice, that she will always consider other people first, which could be a strength, but it's also kind of like an inhibitor as well. Yaya, would I hug her first or observe? She is a girl who knew about stranger danger. Like I remember there was this time in elementary school. Well, I think I was in second or third grade, and this van came to pick up kids for like this after school program. And I was just standing outside the van, like, no, my mom did not tell me I could go. I just kept telling the grown-ups, no, I can't go on that van. I can't go on that van. And then I went home after school, and then my mom said, oh, yeah, I signed the permission slip. I told her about it, and she said, I signed the permission slip. I just forgot that it was today. So I had the
Mm,
next week I was able to go, but you can't run up on Yaya and take her nowhere or hug her or nothing. You got to observe first. So I'm definitely, and plus I'm a Virgo. I'm gonna come off shy and quiet to people who don't know me. Like Kia, I'll never forget when she was like, "Yeah, why you not dancing? You just dance. You're not dancing because that boy here is dance, girl." Like, so my friends, like, if you know me, you know me. I'm goofy. I'm outgoing. I'm all these things. But if you don't know me, it's because I'm observing. I have to fill out my environment first. So for sure, I'm gonna watch her, pay attention, so then I can have a conversation with her and hug her, so that she feels comfortable with opening up with me.
absolutely.
That was a lot. Huh?
It was.
Okay, so let's move on back to Moni. What would you say? What's one thing that younger Moni needs to hear? That teenage Moni.
Ooh, a lot of things. I'm not even sure where I would start, but I think the first thing that I would tell her is that everything will be fine, that she doesn't have to doubt her potential, that she doesn't have to second guess who she is and where she wants to go and who she wants to be, because no matter what direction she chooses to go in, she's always going to end up on the right path. I would tell her that It's important for her to embrace her artistic self, her artistic abilities, to remain unique to who she is, stay true to who she is,
Mm-hmm.
to not lose herself. Because there's going to be moments where she's going to wonder if she made the right decision or if she should move in another direction. And if she wants to do that, that's fine. I think that is also going to be important for her to know that she isn't always going to make the best decisions, but it's also a matter of how she chooses to learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Learning from the decisions that she chose to make, because she's still learning, she's still maturing, and there's a lot of life ahead of her where she is going to bump her head multiple times, but how you get through the obstacle, how you learn from it, that's what's truly important. Yeah, I can go on all day about that, but I'm gonna sum it up like that.
Okay. Are there any warnings that you would give her?
Whew. I want to say yes, but I have to figure out how I would word it, because going into the past, looking at your younger self, I don't want to say don't do this thing, but also I don't want to change the trajectory of the lesson that's going to
Mm.
be learned. Because the one thing that I would want to warn her about is her first relationship. But I feel like the only thing that I really could do is just give guidance on how to navigate it. I don't want to um yeah, I don't want to change the direction or the trajectory of what that entire experience looked like. Some of it
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful, some of it hurt really bad. But at the same time, I feel like there was things that needed to be learned, had to go through those things. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a warning, but I would provide guidance on, just
I get what you're saying. You don't want to change your story.
yeah, but I would, provide guidance on, how to just navigate and understand certain things when they happen, because, no relationship is perfect. It's going to be the first one,
Mm-hmm.
that it is going to be some heartbreak in that story. But, just making sure that she understands at the end of the day, it's not going to be the end. There's still going to be so much life ahead.
Yeah.
Because going to meet your younger self, I also don't want to be like, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, just providing guidance, not necessarily a warning sign, but also just, I guess, to be vigilant and give an understanding of what discernment looks like, and being able to make proper decisions, reinforcing what true friendship looks like, with an understanding that, who's going to be around for a season or just for, a reason, but who's going to be around for the long run, instilling that, not specifically who, just specifically the understanding of what that looks like. Yeah, just providing guidance. No warning labels, just this is what you can expect and this is how you should navigate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you shared that, because I one thought you were gonna say that you would dang, my thought fleeted that fast. That's how old I am. But the second thing was, I didn't know you when you were that age, but I don't imagine that Moni probably would have listened. And also, I'm sure that you had, this is probably the first thought, but it's a new thought right now. I'm sure that you've had people in your life to give you those warnings, or that information, because also that's something that we hear a lot of time, like puppy love, young love, it's not gonna last. Da, 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 da. And as a person, human nature, a lot of times we try to prove people wrong anyway. So that's why I'm imagining with hearing things like, can you really warn? Because a lot of times you probably try to prove somebody wrong anyway, especially with dating and relationships, or
Especially
best
that.
friends, friendship. Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, and then the next question is, what would you not tell her because she needs to learn it on her own?
That's a good one. I guess it kind of turns and ties into the last question as far as guidance, but I guess thinking of something that I would not mention, that is that it's not going to work out. That first relationship is not going to work out. As much as she, mind you, at 16 I wasn't even in the relationship yet. It didn't happen until 17.
Mm-hmm.
But that first relationship, as much as you may hear wedding bells, have a ring on your finger, it's not meant to be. It's truly not meant to be. But that's honestly something that she has to learn through on her own, going through the bumps in the road. And then also, I would not tell her what to choose as far as like the her major in college. She's going to figure that out on her own as far as like the direction that she needs to take. She'll figure it out. And then, I mean,
Yeah.
eventually she did. She changed that major. Like, I wouldn't tell her who's not going to be her friend anymore. So yeah, it kind of ties into the last one, just more so providing the guidance and not necessarily putting a warning label on it. Because as you said, most likely I probably wouldn't listen anyway. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Really? So yeah, I'll sum it up like that.
Okay. My turn. My turn. What's something that she needs to hear? You are enough.
Mm-hmm.
Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop listening to what other people are saying negatively about you. You are beautiful. You are talented. Go for it. Don't shut yourself out. Stop being your own worst critic. Try. You never know what the answer is going to be. Stop being scared before you even go for skating backwards or trying out for the soccer team or tennis or standing up in front of people and delivering that poem. You're really, really cool and dope and beautiful. And the people who have something to say about it, that's their way of expressing jealousy. That's their way of making themselves feel better about themselves. So continue shining and being a goofy person. Write those silly songs and post them. Look at all the people that's making money off of jingles. All the talents that you have is a career, girl. You're making all those songs and making people laugh. That's a business. Did you know? It's not just about lawyers and doctors and all these things that people come to the school to talk about. All the things that God gave you as a talent, those are that's that you can make a lot of money off of that. Keep going. Don't be shy to be your goofy self. Post it on your MySpace page, girl. I don't even think I have MySpace at that age, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
One thing that I will warn her about, the warning would be that the people in your life who are the adults in your life, they don't have their shit together either.
Mm,
And
that's a good one.
they're they're maybe deflecting. So I guess what I'm saying, like I wouldn't say, for people that's listening, I wouldn't say that I was bullied in school by peers. And I'm also not saying that I was bullied by adults, but it's just certain things as an empath and as a sensitive person that when people say things, it might be in light, but you take it to heart. So having jokes or being compared to your cousin or like things like that, to me, I took it as I'm not good enough. So I will warn myself that those people that are making you feel like you're not good enough, they don't even feel that great about themselves. So stop giving it so much of your time and your energy and focus on what you want for now. Be happy. You were happy before you heard those comments. So don't let it steal so much of your joy. That's what I will warn.
Yeah, don't let it steal the joy. Amen.
Yes. And what will you not tell her because she needs to learn it on her own? The only thing I could think about right now is ice cream. All the things that I've been complaining about in our last episodes were my medical bills and the doctors and things like that. And some of it, I did have a hernia and I did have to have surgery for that. And I had another surgery for something else. But a lot of the pain that I was going through was because I was being disobedient, knowing that I'm not supposed to eat dairy products. And I should be not having all those milkshakes from Chick-fil-A and just doing whatever I wanted to do and suffering the consequences physically and financially. That's something that I had to learn on my own. There's so many people, my mom, my partner, Ronald, everybody saying, you know, you're not supposed to be eating that. I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I can eat it. I have all these problems. My body ain't what it was before. So that's something that I've had people in my life telling me it's probably this or you shouldn't be doing that. And I'm just stubborn with that food. So I wouldn't tell her what she can and can't eat. I just let her just deal with it and struggle so she can see for herself.
You got to do it, girl.
Yes. Okay, so let's go on to what will we do? What would you change? Sorry, I read that wrong. Would you change anything in her life or would you let it all play out?
Oh no, I would. I mean, I want to let it all play out. I mean, the thing is, I could try. I could try to change something, but I think for the most part, I would. I would let it play out. I think the only thing I would really change is encourage her to try therapy sooner. I think at 16, I should have been in therapy at that time, just based on all the things that was going on. I don't think I was truly introduced to therapy until college. I think after my great grandmother passed away, I think I should have been speaking to someone about how I felt and what I was going through. I had my writing as an outlet. I mean, I spoke to my parents, but I feel like the the changes that I was going through at the time,
Hmm.
I should have had a separate outlet. So I think to change anything, an introduction to having a therapist, I think would have been beneficial to me at that time. I mean, aside from the program that I was in, yes, me, going on my backpacking trip and being out for 3 weeks, that was life change. And that wasn't 3 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks, whatever. But then also going to boarding school for summer before, to get me used to what it's going to be like to be away from home before I go to college. Those are great life experiences that I had that helped me grow and mature. But I think just having that extra piece would have been very beneficial for me. But everything else, I'll just go ahead and, let it.
Yeah. Is there a moment you tried to protect her from?
Ooh, child, so many. I can't even pick one. I think there'll be, mind you, now it's playing in my head like a movie. Like there'll be moments where I would try to protect her from things, and it's still going to play out the way that it's supposed to. Like I could come in as a buffer. It's making me think of the show. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Dang, now I can't even think of the name of the show. Um, anyway, it's making me think of like the how I've always thought like how our ancestors are, looking down on us. They're a part of our lives and they try to protect us from certain things and they can't. So I'm thinking about it in the same sense that I can try to come in as a buffer or like pretend to be like that friend or that cashier or whatever and try to convince me at that time to not do this thing or give that advice. And it's still going to turn out the way that it is based off the person that I am at that time. But honestly, even though there were some situations that I would consider bad or maybe even some may consider traumatic, I feel like in a sense I still was protected in a lot of ways. Not protection as far as like preventing it from happening, but protection in a sense where, how can I word this? I guess protection in a sense that it didn't take control of my life or it didn't prevent me from moving forward or it didn't, it might have paused me for a little bit. It might have felt like life had got put on hold, but at the end
Mhm.
of the day I came out stronger on the other end and I learned the lesson that needed to be learned at that time. I feel like I do have divine protection over me and there's a lot of situations that could have possibly been worse than what they were, but I'm still here today. Y'all listen to me, you know what I'm saying? Even right now as I speak, like I have a divine protection over me until my days on this earth come to an end.
Would you just sit with her and let her talk when you see her, or would you be doing a lot of the talking?
I feel like it would be a mixture of both. I feel like me at that time, I didn't do a lot of talking, at least not with those that I wasn't yet comfortable with. It takes me a minute. I'm an observer. I got to get used to the environment. Let me get a feel for you. Let me check your vibe. But I think once younger me got comfortable, I would talk. I think it would start with me doing most of the talking, and I think we'd be able to actually have a pretty good conversation after a while. I mean, in a sense, I feel like I would be that therapy outlet that she needs at that time. I'm just allowing her to speak and say what's on her mind and what she's going through.
Mm.
Taking a look at her writing and see, building that encouragement to continue writing. Do not stop writing. So I think that, yeah, it would definitely be, it will start with mostly me, but it would end with mostly her.
Okay,
Yeah.
my turn. I like doing that. Would you change anything in her life or let it all play out? Change is scary for a lot of people. I can't say for everyone. So that's why a lot of people get anxiety because it's unknown of what's going to happen. So a lot of time in my life, even thinking about college age, I always think like, dang, I should have went to Essex County for 2 years and then went to Clark Atlanta. But if I did that, then I wouldn't have. Would I be? Would I be best friends with Moni? Would I have known the clique that I had? Everything would have been different because I would have taken 2 years at a community college and then started Clark Atlanta later. My college, the highlight of my life as far as like what catapulted me into where I am would have been totally different and I wouldn't be who I am. But while that's scary, is it a bad thing? I don't know. So that's just an example of why I would say I don't want to change anything. But just going back to the previous section, I wish that she was unafraid
Mm.
and not judgmental of herself. So yes, I would change her hobbies. Instead of thinking it and talking about it, do it. Instead of just writing things down, get into a publishing program or get into a um like a like not acting but like a spoken word kind of club or something that you can feel comfortable on stage because the stuff that you write is really great. The thing that shuns me from not shun the thing that keeps me from posting honestly is I'm not a fan of my I'm not a fan of myself as far as my delivery.
Mm.
Like the way that like I have this vision in my head of like how my poem should be delivered, but my voice is not giving what I feel like it needs to give. So I just would have told my younger self to go for it and don't be your own person that's getting in your way. Dang, I'm saying that now and I'm like I should be saying that to myself right now. Um
Hello.
Hello, hi. Is there a moment that you tried to protect herself? Sorry, to protect her from? Could I have done anything for the moment that I'm thinking about? I've never been married. I've never been engaged before. And I heard this, I think I was watching Housewives and I've never gone through that kind of breakup, but I've gone through a divorce and I've gone through a breakup and that was my parents' separation. And I would protect her from the hurt that she felt from daddy leaving her life.
Mm.
I don't remember this moment, but my mom said that I used to like just always ask her why she kicked my daddy out and why she's mean to my daddy. Cause that's what I saw as a toddler. Daddy kicked out. Like I don't know what their conversation was or how it went or anything, but daddy's not here anymore. Mom is here, so what happened? But the protection would be going back to me silencing myself. And I remember I used to write letters to my father and say like I wish he was there, or, why aren't you here, or like all these things that I crave to have that connection with my father, but I would never send the letters. I always just end up ripping them up, expressing how hurt I was, everything. Just write it, rip it up, never send it. When I'm asked what's wrong, I'll just bury the hurt and just put on a smile because I guess I thought about how hurt he might be or how hurt my mom might be from what I felt. And I would protect her from protecting other people before she protected herself. And I would say to her, tell them how you feel. Let them know because maybe the older me, the teenage me, the adult 20 something year old me wouldn't have gone through as much hurt that she did. And my brothers wouldn't have suffered as much as they did from the relationships that or lack of that we had with our father. Or maybe my father wouldn't have suffered as much from not being in his child's life because of what he assumed people have told me about him or what he assumed I thought of him. All of those assumptions could have been deaded if somebody would have spoken up. So I would have protected herself from burying her feelings and told her it's okay to express yourself. Don't hold back what you feel, because letting it out was going to help you.
Yes, letting it.
Yeah. And if I saw her, would I sit with her in silence or let her talk? Yeah, it's a Virgo. She's not just going to open up and talk to you. So I would have to warm up the room and talk with her a little bit. But I would want to be that person too, like you said, to allow her to speak. And if she asks me questions, I'm going to respond to them. But pretty much, I don't remember anyone ever saying this to me, but my life felt like children I seen and not heard. I grew up in a family where because I said so was the end of a conversation, or who you think you're talking to ended things. But it was funny when in school, one of my classmates said, "I'm talking to you." Everybody got so happy, like, "Oh, like, somebody finally said it back to one of these grown-ups. Yeah, we on the conversation. I'm talking to you." Like, I could never say that to my mom. I would have birds flying around my head. I would see stars, child. So what I'm saying is that I guess in the 90s it was common that children didn't really speak up or have somebody to talk to openly. It wasn't, I'm sure it happened, but it wasn't common. So I would want to be that adult that she could tell her she is, tell her how excited she is, tell her what her passions are, and tell her, do it, go for it. It's okay. You're safe. You're not going to get popped in the back of the head if you say how you truly feel. um it's okay to express yourself, or say it to me so I can help you flush it out so that your mom doesn't think you're being disrespectful, or your dad won't deflect and try to change it into how he's hurt opposed to how you're hurt, and all these different things. I would want to be that filter for her.
Absolutely. I love that.
Okay, and last one, let's do a full circle reflection. What would make your younger self proud of who you are today?
Hmm. What will make my younger self proud of Simone Loud, who I am today? I would say there's a few different things. One, that I never stopped writing. That whether it's is poetry, whether it's me writing a short story, screenwriting, I think she'd be proud that I actually did go to CAU. That was my top choice.
Hmm.
That I, even though initially mass media was not the major, I just knew I was gonna be a lawyer. Okay, I think she would actually be surprised at the fact that I took a different trajectory, but I found a way to make a career out of it. I think that she would be proud to know that I never stayed stagnant. I've gone from Oakland to Atlanta to LA. Now I'm in New York. Who knows where I'm going next? Like, I have not been afraid to move around. I have not been afraid to be myself. I have not been afraid to continue to create my own way, in so to speak. I think that she would be proud that I have actually, how do I want to word this? I think that she would be proud to know that I've traveled the world, that I actually took my nana's advice. It made sense. Work hard, not too hard, but make time for myself. That I took a deep understanding of what that truly meant. Because back then I didn't know what it meant. But to see it happen, to see it transform in real life and translate, like, oh, well, that's what she meant you know um I think that she would be proud of that, and taking all those creative things that I used to do, and I kind of just put it all together and made it something. I used to always think that one day I would be on the radio. I had my little radio DJ, and now I'm podcasting. I'm writing poetry, and now I have a poetry book. I used to pretend to be a teacher, and now I'm teaching. I used to delve in movies and TV shows, and now I know how to write movies and TV shows, and I've directed my own. It's just so many different aspects to what I've been able to do, and now I'm on the trajectory of making my own program come to life. So I think all of those things combined, she would definitely be proud of. I feel like my younger self can look up to the today me. And then I finally started my locks. I've been wanting locks since I was 16.
Yeah.
That part.
Okay.
I
All
go
the big and little things.
great.
This is a question that I just want to say everything. What will make my younger self proud of who I am today? Everything. Because why not?
Mhm.
Whether I am, like I said, the same thing I said earlier of what would make Yaya think that Yanique is cool. The fact that she's traveled, the fact that she has money to travel, my credit score, being able to pay my bills,
Come on.
the stability in a life that I have worked hard for to be able to do those things. Like I would just sit and like, yo, like how are certain things possible? I don't know. Yes, as a young kid, like I said earlier, I will sit there and I'll make up, write down what my life will look like, who's gonna be in my wedding, like what job I'm gonna have, all these things. But is that really doable? Is that really something I can say, do, or feel like? Even when I talked to you the other day about, I don't know if I really see myself being a mom, and I'm at a point in life that it's okay if I do, it's okay if I don't, because it's not something that I'm like desperate to have, or to whatever the case may be. It's whatever. That's how I feel now. I don't know how I'm gonna feel later. I just like younger. It's just like, yeah, I'll say these things, but do I really see it? And now I'm living it, and I think that's pretty cool. So just my whole life in general, I would say that my younger self will be proud of, because I was just always Leslie's daughter,
Mm,
and I was afraid to fly out of the nest. I was afraid to do things on my own, to go for things. And the fact that I was able to go for things that is affording me the lifestyle that I have is something to be proud of.
absolutely.
Um, yeah. What do you think Lil Moni would thank you for?
I think one, she would thank me for the opportunity to let her speak, express her opinion, letting her get her feelings out without interruption, without judgment. I think she would thank me for believing in her, for just for guidance in the future, to see where she can be, to see what it looks like to not give up on yourself, to continue pressing forward, to truly believe and understand what it means to manifest what you truly want in life, and to not give up on it. To see it is to believe it. She's seen for the longest time what she's wanted to do, and to actually see what it could look like on the other end. I feel like she would thank me for giving just a peek and into her future. Even though she may not know how she's going to get there, at least she knows once she is there, it's beauty on that side.
Yes. Yaya would be thankful for being seen and having somebody to take time and speak with her without comparing her to somebody else, just her own time and appreciation for her. She would also thank me for being myself and for being a go getter, even when there's doubt, when there's fear, when the unknown is there, just just continuing to press forward, even when having soldiers behind her, like friends in my life, whether they're still friends today or not, those people who saw my potential and put it in front of my face, and told me that I'm holding myself back because I have that self-doubt. And like, for example, a consultant telling me, I think I probably shared on the podcast before, that I second guess myself. And even though I'll say the right answers, I will say, I don't know, but, or like something like that, the way I respond. So she will be grateful and thankful to me for hearing people's critiques and working on self to be able to change those things. Even as far as relationships, I'm having been in a relationship with somebody who share the things that they didn't like about me instead of saying, "Oh, f you, bye." Literally, like saying, "Okay, is this true about me, or are they just saying it? And what things are true? What do I want to work on so that that's not a thing? Do I even like that about myself? Do I understand it about myself?" So taking criticism from others and making some adjustments so that I can become a better person for myself and for people who are currently in my life and who are to come in my life. Yeah, that's what she'll be thankful for. And the last question: what part of her do you still carry with you aside from coloring?
First and foremost, it's the creative part. It's the writing, the drawing, the dancing, the acting. Like all of that is still a part of me. That part will never leave. The ambition. I'm willing to try new things. That is still definitely with me. But then even aside from that, I can say that I still carry the anxious part with me. She's not as prominent, but she's definitely still there.
Yeah,
She still can be doubtful. She's still nervous, but she just handles it in different ways. Um, I still carry the optimism, just trying to always see the brighter side of things. And those are things that I hope to actually never give up. Never let go of. I want to always carry those parts of me. I don't ever want to forget who that Simone was, especially when it comes to diving into um, the creative aspects of me. Sometimes I really have to remember, like, girl, who are you? Who were you then? Who are you now? But what's that part of you that
sorry. It's the who. It made me think about that owl challenge. Who.
who are you then and who are you now, and how am I going to keep them aligned? Which is why I love what I'm doing now as far as being a film teacher and being able to remind my students, like, everybody has a story and everybody's story is unique, and in how you tell that story is completely up to you. So just making sure I stick with understanding, like, who I was definitely has a major part in who I am right
Yeah,
now, and I will never let those beautiful parts of me, even the ones that may not be so beautiful, I'm not letting those pieces go, because it's still truly much a part of who I am right now.
yeah. Thank you for answering. Part of her. Do I still carry the sensitive side? I am still an emotional being, though I don't allow myself to cry or show that emotion in front of certain people because I've learned to protect myself, but I find beauty in it. That's just who I am. It's just who I am, and that's a part of me that's not going to be let go. And I know I get it from my dad for sure. He's so emotional too. So that's just the core of my being that's I'm not going to get rid of. Short and sweet answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all. That's all, folks. Choose carrot like Bugs Bunny. So yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this reflective episode. The idea just came up because, like, we always hear that question of, what would you tell your younger self? And then just one day I was like literally imagining the younger me in front of myself, and it kind of made me, guess what, guys? Emotional. I didn't cry, but it was just like, oh, like, that's crazy. But one day, I guess I will be in a room with my younger self if I have a child. What would I tell her? What lessons will I take from my life and try to instill in her, or what things I might try to keep her from? Yes, she's still gonna live her own life. If it's a her, I hope it's a her. But he, she, whoever my child may be, or a niece, or maybe my nephews, those young people in your life, you don't want to see them go through hurt and pains like you did, and you try to protect them, but their life is their own journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what made me think of this episode, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something new about Yanique and Simone on this day, but Nevertheless, thank you for listening. This episode is not ending. This is just the end of our cat hot topic episode segment part. I'm getting my words mixed up, but yeah. Go ahead, Moni. Tell them, talk to them.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close out. Some everybody like, where's the announcement song? I told y'all this season gonna be a little different. There are no announcements, but before we do let you go, we would like our listeners to one take a second and think. What would you say if you were sitting across from your younger self right now? All of the reflective questions that we asked, what would you say? What would you do? How would you feel? How would you first react seeing yourself? For those of you that like to journal, this may be a great opportunity for you to go ahead, take out that pen, take out that pad, go ahead and type it up and truly think about what your younger self would think about you right now. What age is your younger self? All the things. I think this was a great reflective opportunity for us. It's even given me a moment to think about, like, how do I want to continue to move forward? How,
Yeah.
if I'm sitting in front of the 20-year-old me, the 25-year-old me, you know what I'm saying? Just what would I say to them? Because as you were saying, like, the journey is special and each journey is going to be different. And, just being able to take that deep dive into, what that conversation would look like is truly meaningful. So go ahead, give it a try. And if you like, feel free, let us know. Put it in the comments, let us know on IG, let us know on TikTok, let us know on YouTube. Let us know your feelings, your thoughts. Or if you even like the episode, did you like the topic? Okay. Yeah, so as we said, we're trying something new. All of the segments that you usually hear are not going to be in every episode, but we're still going to give you, a little something in every one. We just splitting it up, making it fit a little different. You know what I'm saying? Just Love Loud is still here. Truth Carpet is still around. Season 7, baby.
And I want to add to what Moni said too. I like how you said basically every decade you can think about that younger person that you were, but also think about where you are now. Like the questions of would your younger self be proud? It makes me think of when we write those 2, 5, 10-year letters to ourselves and see where we thought we will be. Maybe not, and we can continue to do things that we need to do in order to get to where we want to be, or maybe not, and I'm glad, I'm happy I made a pivot or whatever the case may be. But it can also be like a tap on the shoulder, like I said to that younger self, I should have did this and I should have did that, but it's not too late. I can still do those things. So it can also be an eye opener of where you are today and encouraging yourself where you are, not just where you were, but where you are.
Yes.
And also be kind to yourself. Everybody has their own journey, whether you are ashamed of how you got to where you are, things that you did when you were younger. It's okay. No one's perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. So that's your story, and that's what makes you special and unique.
Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. And with that, we are officially closing out the first episode of season 7, y'all.
Yes, we're here. We're here to stay for another season, y'all. So I do want to say, if you or anyone you know may be a great guest on our show, feel free to reach out to us. We have an email address, which is loveloud@gmail.com. That's loveloud. The loud has 2 D's. 08, like the numbers, not spelled out, @gmail.com. You can also reach us by DMing us on our personal Instagram pages if you follow us, or on our Love Loud account, which is Love Loud LLC on Instagram. Those are pretty much the ways that you can reach out to us to let us know if you or anyone you know may be a great guest, which is we like to get into people's business. So it can be if they have a business, or if they're working in a profession that you think may be interesting to be on a podcast. And I would also say, even if we had someone before, like we had a firefighter before, there's so many different types of firefighters. That person was the driver, and they taught us that there's different types of trucks that they drive. And all of them don't have water. I'm like, oh my God, like that's so crazy. So we've had a nail tech before, but maybe you do different type of nails, or your experience, your journey is different. That's okay. Don't shy away from reaching out just because, oh, they had a therapist on there before. There's so many different types of therapy out there that is yet for us to learn about. So bring it on to us. Don't tell yourself no before you send that email or DM to us. Let us learn about what you know. And if you know any poets, or if you are a poet, we're looking for that too. It's not going to be in every episode like it was previously, but we're hoping to get some new poets and some returning poets this season to you at least once a month, hopefully. So help us with the outreach.
Yes, and that is the end. Thank you for those of you that are listening for the first time. If you have been with us since the beginning, welcome back.
Yes.
And we out this piece.
Yes, y'all. Until next time, stay black.
Stay proud.
Bye, y'all. Shake them dreads. Shake them dreads.